Hi, I'm Chris, and I do videos about stuff. You might like my channel if you like stuff you've already heard before, and stuff you've already heard before, and fat people.
What's up, folks? How's it going? It's been a minute. What can you do? Shit happens. In the time, just to get this out of the way real quick, in the time that I haven't made a video in a little while, I got dropped from AdSense, which means I got dropped from my partnership. I have no idea why, because of the wonders of dealing with a massive corporation. I am not privy to information about what I actually did. Whatever. Anyway, I received no notification except for an email that I got from fucking Google after the fact. I don't have any strikes from like YouTube. It's not an issue like that. Anyway, get to the fucking point. The only recourse I've been given is to fill out some fucking appeal form that is cryptic and contains information that has nothing to do with me because I am not a website. And I've tried to figure it out, but the general information I'm getting from their health forums is fuck you. I think that they should just link all their questions to a page that just says fuck you. Would be much more efficient for the folks over there. But if you have any idea what I can do, you can send me a message. That would be appreciated. It's not a super huge deal. It's not even about the money because I made a total jack shit off of this. It's really just about being able to, upload the longer videos. I just am pissed off and I don't know why. Anyway, past that. So one of the reasons that I haven't been making videos is because I don't really know what to talk about, and I think I know what to talk about right now, but I'm not sure. So let's see how rambling it gets. The big story as of late has been, this mosque in New York City near Ground Zero, and all motherfuckers are talking about it. I really just didn't want to talk about it because everybody's talking about it, but I will say that I do find it funny how many foreigners, people that are not American, in my case, are talking about this and like debating amongst themselves what we should be doing, which I do find ever so funny, as if they're in any position to lord advice of any kind when it comes to a matter like this, because I think we can see quite clearly, looking at Europe as opposed to America, which one has truly more honest religious tolerance, not religious tolerance that's been enforced in some way. We generally pretty much don't give a shit what you do in America, which is something that many Americans don't understand, and most people who are not American never understand. And I think this is where the main divide is. We don't really give a fuck what you do. We just pretty much don't want you to take any of our shit, or pretty much that's about it. Don't take any of our shit, and just don't be a dick. That's pretty much, that's it. Like, other than that, no one really gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you might not like it, but nobody's going to stop you from doing whatever the fuck you want. And when it comes to something like this mosque thing, people are like, well, it's a matter of freedom of religion and all that shit, and I absolutely agree. I mean, if we were going to make this decision based purely on law, or what is legally permissible, then that's what do. But then the other part comes into play here. Well, just don't be an asshole. And I think most of the people that are protesting this mosque, cultural center, religious, cultural mosque center, whatever the fuck it is called, I don't give a shit. I'm sure most of them understand that any group of Muslims has the right to put their mosque anywhere. They just think it's a dick move. And to a certain degree, I would agree with them. I mean, the only other option is that the people that made this decision are fucking dumb, because I refuse to believe that at no point did someone say to them, hey, Ahmed, we're really excited about the new cultural mosque center, but we should maybe move it further away. I mean, because it's not right on top of it, but it's close enough to understand why people are so pissed off. Should protesters be yelling at random people that they think are Muslim? Of course not. That's retarded. But what the fuck are you gonna do? What I think is gonna happen is that they're gonna build the mosque, because that's the legal thing to do. And the people that run the mosque are probably going to be hounded by people who think it was the immoral thing to do. And that's whatever. I think a lot of this debate, especially coming from people like Pat Condell, is along this new line that's coming out of all directions about Muslims taking over the world and all this shit. And Pat Condell is just so worried about America, and everyone's so worried about America. Pat Condell, don't fucking worry about it, okay? We had this shit completely under control. I know I've probably said this shit like 3 times. I don't even fucking remember, but I live around way more Arabs, Arabs being mostly Muslim, than somebody like Pat Condell has ever seen in his life. And it's really not that big of a fucking deal. I'm not worried about it. Muslims are not going to fucking take over America. That's retarded. Muslims are not taking over England. When somebody like Pat Condell talks about Muslims getting special treatment and shit, it's not even about Muslims. That's just everyone trying to get special treatment from a country that will give you whatever the fuck you ask for if you complain enough. Which is what the United States is trying its best to avoid, I suppose, but England's already way into that shit. So the problem isn't Muslims, the problem is special interest groups. Muslims happen to be distasteful to Mr. Condell, that's whatever. I really don't want to take any fucking sides. I don't like any of these people. I don't want to take sides on Jews versus Muslims in the Middle East, because there's real good logical reasons for both sides, and I don't really want to fucking pick between Jews and Muslims, and I don't really want to pick between Christians and Jews and Muslims and Christians, because how the fuck am I going to make a judgment like that? However, I can choose which cultures I deem to be superior. And in that sense, I would be wary of Islam, because it brings an Eastern culture that is not the same as ours. It's not that these cultures are a little different, it's that we're fundamentally different, and they have been for thousands of years. This is not new. The biggest threat to Western civilization is Western civilization itself, and being so fucking postmodern and such big pussies. That's the biggest problem we have. But I think people in Europe have that problem more than we do. That's why I think Pat should stop worrying about what we're doing. And we do appreciate your sympathy for all the troubles we've gone through. I don't buy it, whether or not you give a shit about what happened on 9/11. Most people don't. I do. But I would be one of the few that care for reasons other than they have a political bone to pick, which is what most of the people do. And that's what I suspect Pat thinks. I think that Pat needs to worry about what has become the cesspool of Western civilization, and it's not America. No matter what people will tell you, nobody from another country will admit that. It's true. Europe is the cesspool of Western civilization. If it's going to survive anywhere, it's going to be here, and it's doing just fine. I think it can survive a couple of rounds of dumbass cultural mosque centers in New York. I don't know, man. Whatever. That was my rambling video about a bunch of shit. I'll talk to you folks later.